Well, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're going to continue on our series of planets through ascendants. And today we're going to be covering Sun in the 7th house in the sign of Aquarius. And what happens when Sun, it's your ascendant, as your Leo ascendant, and sits in the 7th house in the sign of Aquarius. And obviously, as you know, this is different from my Sun in houses and Sun in signs. Because now we're combining two things together, where Sun is in a certain house, certain sign, but also Sun rules a certain house. So it's going to affect that quality of that house. And as always, if you do not know where your Sun is placed, what sign it's in, what degree nakshatra it's in, all the other planetary placements and details, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Sun in the 7th house in the sign of Aquarius. What is going on? Well, first of all, you, as a Leo ascendant, your whole world is about self-centeredness. Your whole world is about creative self-expression. It's about education. It's about focusing on children throughout life. Because it's that 5th zodiac sign of the zodiac belt. So that means that 5th house energy will always be upon you. And including 5th house represents political throne. And Leo is that regal sign. So when a person goes into the on a political throne, I mean, they're considered, the government, the higher kingship. So now, the Lord of that Sun is in the 7th house in Aquarius. And 7th house represents partnerships, marriage, business, career, mass fame, enemies, other people. So, here's the 7th house. And 7th house is a sign or house where Sun is setting in. When Sun is going below the horizon, that is that 7th house, then going towards the 6th house. But then, Sun is also in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is that 11th zodiac sign of network circles, of higher philosophy, social welfare, social reform. And Aquarius, actually, believe it or not, is a much more of a higher philosophical sign and spiritual sign than even Pisces. Why? Because of the Bhavad Bhavam concept. Aquarius is 12th from the 12th. It becomes the highest self of the house of Pisces, the sign of Pisces. So what happens here with Sun in the 7th house and the sign of Aquarius, first of all, the person will develop their own light of who they are through other people. They're going to try to find themselves who they are by the more they interact with other people, the more they meet other people, the more they indulge in business, is how they're going to find themselves, is how they're going to learn about their ego. They're going to learn about their character, their self-esteem, the more they get out. And it's like imperative for them to keep interacting with people, to go out in the world and socialize. However, it's like a catch-22. These people become extremely eccentric in the sign of Aquarius with the Sun. As much as they feel like they want to meet other people and join with other people, the Sun here is a dominating planet. Sun is the king. So the natural inclination for these people is to take over whoever they meet, is to always thrive over the group of people that they're meeting. And because Sun is in the sign of Aquarius, which is actually considered like an enemy sign for Sun, Sun becomes eccentric. Sun either will behave very nice, calmly, cool 1 minute, and will suddenly lose itself the next minute. They have a hard time understanding the nature of group setting. So with this Sun, what happens is this person thinks like, well, I am in this social setting. Okay, I need to take over them. That's what they all want. They want me to be their leader. Even though nobody wants that, the Atma, the Sun, the soul, is trying to always take a leadership role wherever it's sitting. And especially in partnership and marriage, not only this can show that one is very much dependent upon marriage. They love partnership. They love relationship. Especially if Sun is unaffiliated from malefic planets. They need marriage and partnership to understand themselves. But then what happens is, because Sun is a malefic planet in astrology, because it's such a hot planet that it burns the significance of that house. So what happens is a person gets a very egotistical, very self-centered spouse, a very bossy spouse, regardless of if you're a man or woman. And so as much as they're trying to find themselves out through partnership and marriage, yet what happens is there are a lot of conflicts because of the fact you're trying to conquer them, they're trying to conquer you. And there's going to be this time where a person will be like, who's going to take the leadership role in the relationship? Am I going to take it, or is this other person going to take it? And one of you will have to be subservient to the other person. Otherwise, then there's going to be ego battles. But especially in the sign of Aquarius, which is in a sign core ruled by Rahu and Saturn, it is a sign of eccentricity. It's a sign of discipline, structure. It's a sign of social welfare. So the thing is, the personality is very hard to understand. This is one sign placement for the Sun where you just have a hardest time. Who the hell are you? Like, what do you want from me, or what do you want from the world? Because the thing is, they're the people who, if they're in, let's say, business partnership, they will call the person at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Hey, listen, I got this idea. We got to do this. We got to do this. And then the person is waking up, half waking up, saying, what the hell are you talking about? And they will like burst on the person if they don't come at 2:30 a.m. into the office. And especially 7th house is the Bhavat Bhavam of the 10th house. So it becomes a house of career. But especially here, Sun develops itself more through business than its service or job. Sun has to be in a leadership position. Sun has to be in a position where they're in control, in charge of meeting other people and making deals and negotiations happen. But it happens in a very eccentric way. Now, also, if you got to realize, if Sun is before the 15th degree of the Aquarius sign, this Sun will be quite powerful in nature towards finding their leadership role. If Sun is below the 15th degree, okay, that means not only Sun is going towards the 6th house, but Sun is going deep into the sign of Aquarius. And so here, Sun will find itself getting into much more of a power struggle situation than, finding a cardinal ground with everybody else. And especially if you notice, if your ascendant degrees, notice your ascendant degrees. If they're after the 15th degree, so if you're Leo ascendant with like 15.6 degrees, 17 degrees, 20 degrees, that's where the Sun really finds it hard for itself to find a cardinal relationship with people early on in their life. Their egoistic development, their self-esteem takes quite a bit of time to develop and to understand other people. For them, they have a very hard time trying to understand people, but at the same time, they need people. So this is why it's one of those placements which are just known to be quite eccentric. Like they want to retrieve in isolation. They want to be in front of people. They want to be cherished by the mass of the crowd, but then again, they want to retrieve back. Like especially you'll notice this if Sun is in the Sastya Bishak Nakshatra. Very, very weird person. Like this person can be your best friend, but then he will not call you for 2 years because he just was feeling awkward trying to call you. You see how that's how this person works. So especially for these people, it's much better to be like in a self-employed situation or a situation of business where they're the one who in charge, and regardless of their eccentricity, people have to listen to them. Only then these things work. But if you have to sit around other people and take other people's suggestions and follow what other people say, that's when like the person just gets tormented within themselves. Okay. So guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the 7th house of the sign of Aquarius. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Sun is placed, all the other planetary placements, my books, consultation for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.